Hello and welcome guys to a new episode on Sport Predict Fanatic. Today we're going to predict the semi-finals of the Euro 2024. Let's get into it. I think the Euro 24, by the way, has been freaking great. With a little bit of surprises here and there, but also with four big teams at the semi-finals. That's always great. The first matchup, it is Spain against France. Spain arguably had the biggest challenge of their Euro 2024 in Germany in the last match. They beat them, of course, the host country. It was actually a dramatic contest that went back and forth a little bit, with it being 1-1 at the 90th minute. They went to the extra time and Spain scored actually in the 119th minute, which is of course really late, but with that extending their win streak to 7. While the team actually has 7 wins, they looked really impressive attacking wise, but I think also the defense should really get the praise. They only conceded one goal to an opposition player in those 7 wins, and maximum had 1 goal against them per match. So they've never conceded 2 in one of those matches, which is of course a great stat for a defense to have. Spain can be extra confident with those stats going into the semi-final, especially because in their last 8 head-to-heads against France, they got a maximum of 1 goal against them in 7 of the 8 times. So that's really good. They hold their attack really well. And with the not so good France form at the moment, their confidence might even grow a little bit more. France actually only won the last match in a goalless event on penalties, and looked especially nothing like themselves. They did reach the semis with none of their players scoring from open play, which is a really weird statistic for France, especially France, to have, with Olivier Giroud, Kolo Muani, Mbappé. It's just really weird to see. Just to name another weird stat, in the last 8 head-to-heads of both teams, only 2 times against each other, by the way, only 2 times both teams scored. So the other 6 times only one of the teams scored. And in the last matchup, Mbappé scored, a player who's actually only scored once this Euro with the 20 shots, which is the second most at this Euro. So I think there is a little chance that he will actually score here. But I think with this, Spain are going to win. They are just playing better and deserve it way more than France at this moment. But you never know, because Didier Deschamps' team has actually shown that even without them playing well, they can win matches, and that is of course the most important at such an event. And then we go to the second match. That's going to be Netherlands against England. After an underperforming group stage, becoming 3rd in their pool, the Netherlands have shown their strength in the knockout phase of the tournament. They've literally shown their strength. The Netherlands first beat Romania 3-0 in an almost perfect performance, and then came back from 1-0 against Turkey in I think one of the greatest matches of a knockout phase at the Euros. It has almost had everything, Myself, as of course Dutch and Netherlands as I am, was at a festival at the moment the match was played between the Netherlands and Turkey, and I can tell you it was so fun to watch it with all those people. All those people there. It was such an atmosphere. Of course, when Turkey went up 1-0, it was a bit devastating for everyone. We were, by the way, watching on 3 big screens, so we could see everything really well. Um, but yeah, it was amazing to then the first goal, like everyone was jumping. Second goal, everybody was jumping, and then the final whistle, everybody was jumping. It was so great. Um, but with beating Turkey, this is actually the first semi-final since a decade, a first major semi-final since a decade, and actually the first semi-final at the Euro since 2004. Um, the semi-final is of course against the favorites of the Euro 2024. Well, that was before the tournament began at least. And this will actually be the first meeting of the two countries at Euros or World Cup since 1996. In 1996, England won 4-1. I'm at least expecting a different match than back then, but you never know. Since then, they've actually played each other 9 times, with 4 times a win for the Netherlands, 4 times a draw, and 1 win for England. Koeman will, of course, the coach of the Netherlands, will actually hope to get the Netherlands into the first final since 1988. The final, which the Netherlands won, coincidentally, in Germany, and beating England on the way with 3-1. So I'm hoping that's going to happen again, of course. But yeah, we'll see. But the semis will be more known ground for England, as they reached 3 out of 4 semifinals major tournaments with Gareth Southgate. I mean, it may not be the best football they've played, but I mean they were always there, so you can't say that. England dramatically beat Switzerland on penalties in a match they actually were 1-0 behind from. They did look better than in their other matches, I'm going to tell you that. The last time England actually lost a competitive matchup was back in 2022. That was in the World Cup against France. This was also like the last competitive matchup they conceded more than 1 goal, which is quite impressive. So their defense could actually guide them to a win. Of course, with the Netherlands, Gakpo is the informed player, joint top scorer, and all of his goals actually came in the second half. So that's maybe also an interesting stat. Another interesting stat: the Netherlands have lost 3 Euro semis since 1988. They've never reached the final since 1988 when they won it all. But I do think, and I do hope, maybe it's just my hope, but I do actually think the Netherlands will get their win here. Just to them playing better than English at this stage for now. Yeah, I think the Netherlands have looked better than England. But yeah, with England you never know. They always play so boring, but then they score and it's done, or they go to penalties and they win. Well, until that one moment they lost, but we're not going to talk about that. But no, I'm hoping as a Netherlands, of course, as a fellow Dutchman, I'm gonna hope that the Netherlands win. But also, I think the majority of people is actually hoping for not a Euros finals of France against England, because they've just played boring football this Euros. I think the major people who are not on any of those sides actually want Spain and the Netherlands to go through. But I could be wrong here. But yeah, that was basically my say in this and my prediction. So I want to thank you all for watching. Please have a good day, and I will see you.